Greetings, LER class of May 2021. A year ago, I would not have imagined where we'd be today. I wouldn't have believed that nearly all of your time at LER would be spent Zooming to class and social distancing. When we recorded my remarks last May for graduation, I was sure we'd have a normal graduation in December. And certainly by now, so much has changed. It would be easy to be overwhelmed. Yet one thing stands out for me: resilience. When we experience problems, people usually react negatively. That's natural, especially when the problem is big. Instead of negativity, you've been so resilient. I'm humbled to be with a class that has persevered so well during such a trying time. Resilience is reflected in the actions of this university that have kept us safe and functioning in the face of a global pandemic. Our campus is the gold standard for safety that other universities try to emulate. Resilience is reflected in the work of our faculty and staff, who have worked so hard to make this day possible for you. Whether they were at home or in the building, they continue to support our community and provide top quality education and services. Their hard work has made your hard work possible. Our alumni have shown resilience by blazing the way for you to enter the workforce in this difficult time. In spite of current events, they still find time to share their knowledge, experience, and generosity with their fellow alums and with you. They help save the jobs of many workers and create workplaces that are safe and inclusive. I'm grateful that you will continue this legacy and help your organization be safe, inclusive, and productive. Most of all, resilience is reflected in each of you, our students who rolled with the punches, got the job done, and are facing a bright future. You aren't only surviving adversity, you're thriving. Your ability to bounce back is resilience in action, and it will serve you well as you move towards a very bright future in a very necessary function. Thank you for staying the course with us to finish in these difficult times. Through it all, you've cared for each other, set a great example, and helped us keep our strong family culture at a time when it would have been easy to only consider yourself. I'm sorry that we can't be together today to celebrate your graduation, but I want to congratulate you. You began your time at LER as one of the first classes in our bright and shiny new classrooms with the beautiful Soderstrom Terrace behind the building. Then last March, we went to shelter in place and the building was locked. Despite this disappointment, you've formed a new definition of success. The current state of the world shows that you've made the right choice in choosing your career in HR. You'll have a lasting impact on society. HR has never been as important as it is during this global crisis. And HR will play a critical role as work evolves after the pandemic. What work looks like will be different from pre-pandemic work. As the world rebounds, industry will look to you as HR professionals to guide sourcing, selecting, onboarding, and training your workforce. It will look to you to put the correct policies in place for diversity and inclusion in the workplace. It will take hard work and dedication, but I know you'll rise to the challenge. You'll be in a critical role as your company meets the challenges of rebuilding and serving society. Although we aren't celebrating in a face-to-face ceremony today, Professor Ryan Lamare and alumnus Larry Pearlman are here to say a few words to you.
It's a tremendous honor to be able to speak with you all today, and I want to begin by congratulating you on such an outstanding accomplishment. Moments like these are very special because they give us an opportunity to reflect on how far we've come and how much we've grown and learned during our time together. But this moment is unusually special because of the impossible set of circumstances you've had to navigate over the past 18 months and the tremendous sacrifices you've had to make to get here. Allow me to convey what I think it means for you to have achieved this accomplishment under these circumstances, and why I consider you to be one of the most impressive cohorts of students I've ever encountered. In my game theory class, I teach about the idea of information asymmetries. There are things in the world that I know about myself but that you don't know, and there are also things that you know about yourself that I don't know. There has never been a period of time that I can recall where information asymmetries between all of us were as pronounced as they were during your time at LER. Halfway through your first semester, a massive and unexpected disruption meant that we could no longer physically coexist in the same space. And yet, aside from a brief adjustment period, we were all required to continue on and to do our best to minimize the effects of this momentous upheaval on our teaching and learning experiences. So we adapted our courses for Zoom and tried to achieve the same experience remotely that we would have had in person. And you were still expected to put in a huge degree of effort to keep up with your coursework, turn in assignments, and participate in class discussions, even as the most unpredictable of events imaginable unfolded around us. I know that you were successful in doing this because you're here today celebrating your graduation from LER. But what I can't know is the immense emotional and physical toll this disruption must have personally taken on you. The stress you must have been under as you worked on your assignments, and the isolation you must have felt being unable to leave the house for weeks and months on end. So on one hand, I can confidently say that those hours when I got to sit at my computer desk with you, talking about dispute resolution and game theory, playing Among Us and Azul, and showing you pictures of my dogs were the highlight of my week and helped me emotionally get through this year. But on the other hand, I can't know how challenging these same hours might have been for you, how you might have struggled sometimes to even be able to make it to class, the weight that you might have been under from so many unique pressures mounted on top of the standard, stress-inducing experiences experienced in grad school. Yet despite all that was thrown your way during these 3 semesters, you still managed to make it through to this wonderful moment. Because of what it took for you to get here, it's one of my proudest professional moments to be able to speak to you today and celebrate with you. I want to close by noting one final thing. I'm so lucky that I get to share in this joyful day with you. But all of us at LER are also here to embrace and support you on days less joyous than this one, when you might have challenges, anxieties, and uncertainties that most won't know about as you work your way toward these crowning accomplishments. We will always be with you as you progress in your life and careers, offering our unconditional love and support through every high and low along the way. Our doors are always open to you, either virtually or very soon in person. And I'll be waiting there with you with my Azul board in hand, knowing that you have a friend ready to play a game with you whenever you're ready to come back. Thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Hi, I'm Larry Pearlman, 1989 graduate, former alumni board president, and current adjunct professor at LER. I'm also a senior vice president at Marsh Advisory. I'm thrilled to be here to celebrate your graduation from the finest human resources program in the world. I'd also like to welcome you to the Illinois alumni family. As you graduate, I want to talk about 3 things. 1, keeping the human in human resources. 2, it's a VUCA world after all. And 3, will Wall-E the robot need an HR rep? In preparing these words, I Googled best commencement speeches ever and found a few things to talk about. So here goes. Graduates, you will need to overcome adversity, dream big, never stop learning, believe in yourself, be positive, and deal with change. Thank you. That seems a little bit hollow though, doesn't it? And that's a point to learn from. In an effort to move quickly, it's all too easy to forget about the person. It's easy to Google a solution, to view a YouTube video, to look at Glassdoor, Slack, or Yammer to take an organizational pulse check. As the pace of change accelerates, you will encounter many leaders who want to shortcut the human side of the business, to ignore or to forget that employees need to be a part of something great. They need to collaborate, to co-create, to engage, and to build something special. Your challenge will be to remember to keep the human in human resources, to find ways to engage people, to harness ideas to inspire creativity and channel people's energies. It will be your job to remind the organization that the human element matters. Which brings me to my second point. It's a VUCA world, after all. I would suggest you're not the class of 2021, but instead members of the class of VUCA. Volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. You've lived through pandemic, climate change, civil unrest, mental health crisis, political turmoil, workplace violence. The only way to navigate such turbulent times is to hold fast to a set of values and navigate the rough waters using them. And guess who will be the keeper of organizational values? You. As HR leader, you will be expected to help steer the organization through a VUCA world. Unfortunately, it's not like steering a car. Priorities, emotions, egos, finances, unique circumstances will all challenge organizational values. You will need to lead that fight and do what is right. You as an HR leader are the keeper of those corporate values. I'd like to offer you some advice. Be prepared to lose your job every day. That's right, be prepared to lose your job every day. Know what you would do, have a plan B. Why is this so important? Because when you are prepared to lose your job, you will avoid sacrificing your values. You will avoid doing the wrong things, and no job is worth compromising your ethics for, especially when you are the human resources leader. Which brings me to my third point. You're not the first class to graduate in the face of rapidly advancing technologies, and you won't be the last. However, the degree of change has grown exponentially. You will be leading HR in the world of mass automation, robotics, driverless cars, artificial intelligence, chatbots, virtual reality, and robots that fix robots, which raises an important question. Would R2-D2 and WALL-E actually need an HR representative? What does this mean to you, class of 2021? It means the issues you will face in your career have not been encountered before. But you will be expected to navigate a path. As you plot your course, you will need to be grounded in something. And what better way to ground yourselves than the values and purpose of our school? LER was defined by the state of Illinois back in 1946, and the legislature proclaimed the object of the program is to equip students for service in industry, labor, government, teaching, and research. To me, the operative word is to serve. It's your job as you go forward in your career to figure out how to serve. You will need to pivot, to adapt, to change course, but never forget that your job is to serve people. As Gandhi once said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. To the class of 2021, I wish you well on your journey to serve others. Remember your time at Illinois and LER? I know you will make us proud. Congratulations.
I thank Professor Lamare and Larry Pearlman for their inspirational words. We have an amazing group of alumni, and now you're part of that network. Use it to your best advantage, and please remember to reach back and help those that come after you. You're going to face tremendous challenges in the months and years ahead. I know that you'll rise to the occasion and make enormous contributions to your organization. This is a critical time for society, and your best efforts are needed. This is the point in our traditional graduation ceremony where I say, move the tassel on your mortarboard from the right side to the left side to show that you are now graduates of the School of Labor and Employment Relations. You would receive a very loud applause. You certainly deserve it. The university will continue to work toward returning to face-to-face classes in the coming semester. Once this goal is reached, we will be able to hold an in-person traditional graduation ceremony. We'll invite you back to join us and be recognized for your accomplishments at LER. So please come back to Champaign and walk in this ceremony. Best of luck to you in your careers, and stay in touch with us.